Kidversations, small voices, big stories.
What's poppin'? I'm Charleston. Welcome back to another episode of Kidversations.
And I'm Brantley. Today we have our second secret guest. His name is Eddie, and we have no idea what he does.
We're gonna play a game of 20 questions. If we get it right, we win. If we don't, and we don't guess what he does within those 20 questions, he wins. But he still tells us what he does.
Hey Eddie, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start. I'll do my first question.
All right.
Does your job involve manual labor?
What?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
Do you work inside or outside?
Both.
Does your job involve cameras?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good start.
Is it nighttime or daytime?
It can be both.
Does your job involve other people?
Yes.
Ooh. Our first secret guest was an embalmer. Do you work with dead people like him?
In a sense, yeah.
Whoa, that's scary.
Are you a filmmaker?
We do video, but I wouldn't call it filmmaking.
Dang it!
Is it dangerous?
It can be.
Does your job involve stunts?
No.
No?
Do you use equipment?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you make podcasts just like the one we're in?
Yeah.
You do? Are you an actor?
I have acted.
You have acted? Is that the reason you're here though?
No.
Does your job involve food?
No.
Oh, dang it. I love food.
Do you make bank?
I wish.
You wish. Okay.
I mean, you could.
Ooh, do you work for a big company?
No.
Oh, dang it.
Do you like your job?
I do.
Is work long?
It can be.
Dead people.
Does your work involve kids?
No.
No.
Not living anyway.
Dead people.
Not living kids.
I think I know it just from he doesn't work with alive kids.
Curious to see what you think.
But just ask.
Do you work with ghosts?
Yeah.
Ghosts.
Are you a ghost hunter?
I am.
That's your job?
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah, that's a good job. That's cool.
That's a job.
That's scary.
It can be.
Do you get paid?
You can.
Do you get paid?
I mean, depends. I mean, a lot of it is charity work in the community.
How and why did you start doing this job?
So, when I moved to Bristol, we got this house and I had some weird things happen in that house that I couldn't explain. So, I started watching ghost hunters on TV. And when I was in high school, I met this person who became one of my best friends. She was a professional paranormal investigator, and I started hanging out with her, and I eventually joined that team.
Are you still friends with that girl?
I am.
Do you work with that girl?
I used to.
You used to, not anymore?
Not anymore.
She did.
No, she's not dead.
Okay. Did you try to find her ghost?
She was dead, yeah, probably.
Have you ever identified a person as a ghost?
I mean, sometimes we have kind of an idea because there's records that show in a lot of places who died there. So, yeah, we have. I mean, we can't say for sure, but I'd say for the most part, yeah, we have.
How old were you whenever you started?
So I started by myself, I would say around 14. That's when I started buying my own equipment and taking pictures just by myself.
Were you afraid of hunting ghosts? Because you were only 14.
I was scared of a lot of things, and I mean, people scare me a lot more than ghosts. It was the main thing that really scared me is when you're in a dark place, especially by yourself, if you don't have anyone else, your imagination can go wild. You start thinking, oh, there's something behind me, something's going to jump out. But for me, for the longest time, I was scared of the dark. So the dark scared me more because I couldn't see what was in the dark.
Mm-hmm. With your equipment, do you use like heat radars, and how do you really know that there's a ghost?
So a lot of it is guessing and experimental equipment. So we do have this piece of equipment called a thermal imager. It measures heat. So if I pointed it at you, it would show that you were heat, like red, yellow, orange. And if something was cold, it would be blue,
Purple,
black. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So if something's showing a heat signature in the shape of a human and there's nothing there, then that makes you wonder, is it possibly something else?
Yeah. Have you identified the ghost that was in your house?
No, I never really tried that. I know that was really before I started really getting comfortable with it. I tried taking pictures and I got some interesting pictures, but there was a point where I was so scared that I told it to leave me alone, and I prayed about it, and then I really never had any more problems after that.
That's cool.
Have you ever felt a ghost?
Yes, I have. And I mean, anyone you could say have the ability to sense ghosts. It's one of those things like you're out in the woods and you think you're being watched, but you don't see anything there. Well, maybe it's a ghost. And they kind of consider the word for it is clairsentience, and that's being able to feel presences around you. So I'm able to feel things. Some people may be able to hear, some people may be able to see things, but me, I can sometimes feel things.
That's cool. Do people hire you to go find ghosts in their house?
Yes. Yeah, there's been people in the past that have been scared to stay in their house. Some of them wouldn't stay in their house until someone came in and took a look around. So we would all come in with our equipment, do our investigation to see if there's actually anything there or not. And whether there is or not, we try to relieve the person.
Mm-hmm.
And we would, at the end of it, if they wanted us to, we would cleanse the house with sage and holy oils to try to get rid of it or quieten it down.
Have you ever been hurt by a ghost?
I have. So
What happened?
there's I mean, when it comes to something like that, unless you have it documented, anyone could say you did it to yourself. But me and many others I've worked with have been scratched, hit, touched, all the above. And being touched kind of feels like spider webs running across your face or your back or something. And then, like scratches, I had a friend who thought a bee had stung him, and we just came from investigation, and I told him there's not any bees around you. So he lifts up his shirt, and there's a long scratch all the way down his back.
Do you have any more creepy stories?
I have plenty. So one that has stood out to me quite a bit, and it was actually featured in another YouTube video, was my friend had these dolls. And we would go around to antique shops and whatnot, or if we found a doll in the woods, we would always keep it because it looked cool and creepy. And one day he calls me up and says that they are moving.
What?
Yeah, and he sent me a video. He had this little clown doll up on a shelf, and then it starts to fall off, but it hangs there for a second. and then falls to the bottom shelf. And then after a few minutes, it falls off again into the floor. So I come over. I'm not expecting anything to happen. We had an Ouija board with dolls set up around it and some equipment. And we placed this one doll's little hands on the planchette. And we was recording, and we noticed that the doll would fall over and push the planchette. So we was just going to make a funny little video of, oh, the doll moved on its own. But then after it did that, the planchette started moving, and the doll's hands were no longer on it, and it was going across the board. And then another doll flew off the table and started scooting across the floor right by me. My friend was already at the other side of the room. and I'm surprised I was able to sit there and record it without jumping up. But I knew I probably would never get a chance to see something like that again, and I still haven't. But I mean, I checked for strings on top, I looked underneath the table. He didn't have any time to set that up. So that's something that I can't explain, and I hate it because I like to try to debunk things, try to disprove it, because I don't want to believe in something if it's fake and I can prove that it was something else. And that's one that bothers me because I can't prove that there was a natural reason for it.
That's
Which you would think I'm in the business of ghost hunting, so I should want it, but it's still freaky when something happens that shouldn't happen. Happens like that.
Yeah. Can I feel your beard?
Go for it.
Oh, it feels so.
Hope there's no ghosts in there.
Have you ever been so afraid that you've like actually ran away during ghost hunting?
No, and that's actually frowned upon on certain teams that you're on, because we're there to try to document it, and you can't document it if you're running away.
Yeah.
Which I've seen plenty of investigators run. I mean, when it gets to a certain point, we don't run, but we know when we should walk away. Let's say something was demonic and we realized it was demonic. We don't want to put ourselves in that situation because that could harm us physically and mentally, so we would leave. But running away, no. Have I been scared to go inside of a room by myself? Yeah. And that's because I just had a feeling inside me saying that I shouldn't go in that room, that feels like something is off in there.
When you say ghosts are demonic, like, what do you mean by that?
Well, no, ghosts aren't demonic. You have ghosts, you have demons, you have angels, and sometimes you don't know what you're dealing with until you get in there and start investigating. So, and demons, they like to try to fool people into thinking they're innocent. So a common thing that demons try to do is to try to play themselves as maybe an elderly person or a little kid, because it knows with an adult, they're going to let their guard down around a little kid's spirit. And that's happened with a lot of famous cases. And you just have to be wary that any spirit you're talking to may be trying to trick you. And a spirit, a ghost, most of the time will not harm you. I mean, if ghosts are real, they're around us all the time. Now you have malevolent spirits, which aren't demonic, but they were once human, but they're kind of like getting to a point where they're not as human anymore. They're starting to get angrier and demonic-like. So we have to try to differentiate and figure out which one we're dealing with.
What's the difference between demons and ghosts and angels?
So demons are evil. Imagine any bad thing that could be done to a person, a demon's going to do it. An angel is the opposite of that. Angel is everything good in the world. They will, let's say you're in a car accident and you survived. It could be an angel that
guardian
helped you.
angel?
Yeah. It could be a loved one or an actual angel. Or then ghosts. Ghosts were people that once lived. Angels and demons were never humans, so they can never be ghosts. And that's what differentiates them from angels and demons.
So whenever you go into houses and find out that there's ghosts in the house, do you destroy the ghosts or do you like back away from it?
Well, you don't destroy ghosts. I mean, ghosts were once people, so they're not all bad. So it just depends on if they're actually bothering people or not. So when we go in, we usually do a baseline reading of the house with an EMF meter. It measures electromagnetic fields. It'll light up like with certain technology, and they say that spirits are energy, so they can manipulate that. So we get a base reading. So if it goes above that reading, then we know that something unusual is occurring. So we look for hot spots, and then when we find the hot spots, whether we were told or find them on our own, we set up our equipment and we'll ask questions, take pictures, do all of that, and then we determine from that information what we're dealing with. So
That's cool.
most of the time, ghosts, they're not really bothering people, but the fact is people are still scared whether they're
I'd be scared.
doing anything or not. Let's say your keys were on the table here and they moved to there. Well, it didn't hurt you. It didn't do anything except for move something. That's enough to terrify a lot of people. So they'll automatically think ghosts are bad because they're scared of it, because they don't understand it. So we will try to comfort them if we don't think it's a problem by saying, hey, this is just a person. They maybe once lived here. They're really not trying to hurt you or scare you. They're just letting you know they're there. And if we feel like we need to, or if the client wants us to, we'll try to have them pass on. We'll, say prayer and tell them like, hey, if imagine there's this door there full of light, you are allowed to go through that door and move on, because sometimes ghosts can't move on. They have unfinished business. And sometimes just us saying, hey, you can move on, try to find this door and how to find this door, then they can move on and go to heaven or wherever they are supposed to go. So we don't necessarily try to destroy them. We try to not only help people, but we all also try to help the deceased because they were once us.
When you go ghost hunting and somebody calls you to look in the house, is it usually only in old houses or like new? Can it be in new houses?
It can be in new houses. People die all the time, whether it's in new or old houses. People always associate it with being in old houses, and that's because they've been around longer. More people have lived in them. But yeah, new places, I mean, one could be built today and it could already be haunted. And not only that, but the land, your house don't even have to be haunted. The land could be haunted because maybe you had native people that used to live on that land, or settlers, and their body or their spirit's attached to that spot. And your house is there now. So of course they're going to be inside your house now.
Does everybody that die become a ghost?
No, not everybody that dies become a ghost. Most move on. Becoming a ghost is kind of like a rarity. And that's why you don't always hear about it. You hear a bunch of encounters, but not everybody is having encounters with spirits. So I think it takes a certain criteria, like I said before, unfinished business, or maybe dying in a certain terrible way that might cause it. There's a lot that we don't know about ghosts, and we still don't know if they're even real or not. That's why we do it, because we're trying to prove or disprove to the world in general that there may be something after death.
When we were asking you questions to figure out what your job was, you said you did a podcast. What's the name of it and what do you do?
So the name of the podcast is called Haunting Paranormal. So me and my friend Derek are both co-hosts, and we interview people and get their stories. We invite anyone to come on and tell us of any ghostly encounters that they may have. But we also want to do other things too. We would like to do reaction clips. We would like to maybe, like, let's say there's Bigfoot potato chips or something, like try to react to that by eating them. We want to go and do reviews of haunted places, do investigations. We want to try to branch out as much as possible and do such a variety of things to keep people interested.
Have you ever run into a funny ghost?
Yeah.
You have? What
Yeah.
did it do?
Well, every now and then you will get one who likes to call you names, call you stupid.
Speak.
So either we will do a recorder, or we have devices called, let's say, Spirit Box, Ghost Box, Ovilus, and it allows them to communicate by transferring, well, one, the Ovilus transfers like the energy in the environment and puts it into words. The other one, Spirit Box, Ghost Box, scans through radio stations, and supposedly that can help it communicate by having words kind of like at the ready.
That's cool.
And it just like picks one or two words and it comes out clear. And then others will, like, if they know that you're like scared or something, they'll do little things like tap or maybe open a door a little bit. Or if they know that you're playing a prank on somebody, they may try to get on it. Like, I had one where I was underneath the bed at this haunted house and I was scaring my friend who was sitting on top of it, and I was slowly pushing up on the bed. It was freaking her out. But then the door handle starts wiggling and they think it's me, and I'm under the bed thinking, can't be me, I'm right here. And then the door slowly opens and no one's there. And they start freaking out. I'm under there laughing because they thought it was me. And then they finally found out I was underneath the bed.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what to think. It kind of freaked them out, but it was still kind of funny.
You said earlier you pray to get ghosts away. What kind of prayer? Is it a specific prayer that you pray, or do you just make it up on the spot?
You can make it up on the spot, but there's also St. Michael's prayer. That
I know
is
St. Michael, yeah, I say it in church.
That's a popular one that people use as for protection, and we do that before we go in, and we do it before we leave.
That's cool.
To make sure nothing tries to follow us.
What kind of company makes that equipment, and how can you buy it?
So many different companies make the equipment. It's all experimental, so a lot of it is people fiddling around with already established equipment. Like, let's say we have a piece of equipment called a REM pod. If you get near it, the lights up and goes off, makes noises. So people will take that and make their own versions of it. They might change the shape, they might change the sound. So there's not no real big company that makes it, I would say, and it's just depends on where you get it from. You can mostly buy it online. There are a few physical stores in different states, but most people buy it online from places, let's say the Ghost Hunter store, which is a fitting name for buying equipment.
Is there anything you'd like to say to our audience?
Yeah. If you or anyone you know that has a story that they want to tell everyone, just holler at me or go to our page, Haunting Paranormal, on Facebook, or comment down below, and we'll try to reach out to you and have you come on as a guest. Or if you have any haunted places, that'll work too.
Thank you, Eddie, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you for watching. We have a new episode every Friday at 6 p.m.
Bye!
Kidversations, small voices, big stories.